Hello beautiful dancer, this is Joana Saahirah with another video inspired by dancers from all over the world. The theme I'm going to tackle is something that has come up more and more, especially in my private online coaching, and it's something I love so much and something I know can change the way you dance and the way you live. And it's about the balance between the masculine and the feminine principles. And what do I mean by masculine and feminine principles? Well, shortly, there is an image that is universally acknowledged, sorry, which is the yin and the yang sign, okay? You have seen it. It's the polarities that rule life, rule nature, is the day and the night, is the sun and the moon, is stillness and movement, is the conscious and the unconscious. Let's say they are, or they represent the two basic energies that rule everything, rule the way we are as human beings, rule nature, rule the tides, rule the seasons, rule our planet, everything, okay? So in terms of dance and in terms of behavior, what does masculine represent? Masculine is action, masculine is extroversion, masculine is the day, is the conscious, is the sun, is everything that shines towards the exterior world. Masculine is assertiveness, masculine is speaking, doing, going for it. Have the image of Mars, the god of war, as a symbol of the masculine as well. So this is something that goes ahead, that goes against, that makes things happen, that speaks up, that expresses itself, that is fearful, that is active, that is very often going against something, working against something, yeah, crashing something. This is the masculine principle. It's also about speed. It's also about willpower. It's also about I can, I go, I decide. I love it. Okay. And then feminine, okay. What would be the main characteristics or the main attitudes or the main qualities of the feminine principle that you can identify in dance and in life? Well, receptivity, right? It's stillness, it's magnetism as opposed to action, to going again and going against and doing and going ahead and doing. It's about stillness, it's about the night, it's about the unconscious, it's about the mystery, it's about not knowing, and masculine is about knowing. It's about power through not doing, power through flowing with what is. It's about listening, it's about keeping, it's about feeling, it's about silence, it's about the pause, it's about slowing down, it's about vulnerability, it's about being as opposed to doing and manifesting, which is very masculine. It's about sensibility, it's about knowing but not speaking, or receiving, assimilating more than doing. When you think about these two principles, you really see a connection there and how they should operate together. Of course, every one of us has masculine and feminine polarities inside. So we're not speaking about men and women. I have met very masculine women. For instance, me, I consider myself a very masculine or predominantly masculine person, and I have met very feminine men. So I'm not talking about men and women, I'm talking about masculine and feminine polarities that exist in everything and in every human being, in every gender. Now, of course, we may have a predominance of one or other. As I mentioned, I do have a predominance of masculine. So as a dancer and as a person, what I had to develop was the feminine principle. I did not have to become more of this or of that. I did not have to change who I am. I just had to understand that in order to dance and live more fully, more freely, more completely, I would benefit from bringing some of the qualities that were missing in me from the feminine principle. So I became more silent, if you believe it. I became a little bit more receptive. I became more vulnerable. I learned how to flow with things, flow with the music, flow with life without going against it, without always putting my input in everything and going ahead and doing and fighting and, you know, which is very much the territory of the masculine, something I'm very comfortable with. I had to learn how to receive. I had to learn how to pause. I had to learn how to slow down. I had to learn how to listen. So many beautiful things that have improved the way I dance and the way you dance. So many things that have improved the way I live and the way you can live. So I'm just giving you my example, and there are many examples of the opposite. Women who have developed the feminine principle enormously and have nothing of the masculine polarity in them, or have very little, so they're not assertive enough, they're not able to take action, they're not able to express themselves, although they feel it but they cannot express it, they're not clear enough in the way they extrovert themselves, they are afraid of disagreeing with others or doing something that goes against the grind. There are so many ways we can be off balance, and there are so many manifestations of a lack of a polarity, and it's quite visible in the way people dance and in the way people live. And the ideal here, and something that I teach my students and myself all the time, is to bring as much of both polarities as possible together. So we do need action, but we also need the pause. We do need to speak out, to express ourselves and be assertive, but we also need silence. We do need to give, to go ahead, to do, but we also need to be, to stop, to receive, to stay still. We do need our conscious mind, understanding, operating, planning. We also need our unconscious mind. We do need to think, but we also need to feel. We do need the day, but we also need the night. We need the light and we need the darkness. One is not better than the other. They operate together, and when they are working, these complementary polarities, when they're working together, believe me, dance and life is so much more colorful and so much richer. So what I invite you to do is to do a little research, as I often ask my students to do, on the masculine and the feminine principle, and try as much as possible to identify what is missing in your dance and in your life from each of these polarities, and try to integrate it. Now, how you integrate these polarities and how you can bring the qualities of the feminine and the masculine together, that's another story. And if you want to know more, of course, you can join me in one of my events around the world, or at Joana Saahirah's online dance school, because that's an all other bag of worms. But I hope at least from this video you get the awareness that these polarities exist, that most of us are off balance, we have more of this and not enough of that, and that bringing them together in our dance and in our life can increase immensely our experience. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, like it and share it with your colleagues, with your friends, with your dance peeps. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure you check in the description box below this video all information about my new website, very exciting, and my new Joana Saahirah's online dance school. Join our newsletter, also you will find the link below, and be the first to receive our gifts and news and inspirations. I will be very glad to have you in our newsletter and in our school anytime. I love you guys. Receive my love and a kiss.